Well, what's happening, Jets fans? This is GreenBean, and welcome back to a unnecessarily dramatic day. I am glad you're here. I'm not necessarily glad that we have to talk about such subjects right now, but we do. Now, there's a whole bunch of feelings getting tossed around about this Elijah Moore thing, and we're going to get into some of the background stuff that a lot of people might be excluding before they draw their conclusions. We're going to dig into this thing right after I remind you how important it is to hit that little thumbs up button and like the video, if you do, of course. If you don't, I don't ask you to do it. But if you do, don't forget to hit that button. It really helps the channel more than you'd think with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, right now is the perfect time to do so. Little rectangular button says subscribe, nice and easy. Boop. Once you do it, you never have to do it again. And if you're looking for increased access to GreenBean and the background world that we offer here, exclusive content and all that jazz, you can join the Beanbaggers by clicking the link in the description. We're having a blast in there this month. The last Wednesday of the month, we are re-watching the old shootout between Ken O'Brien and Dan Marino, 51-45, I think the score was. We're going to relive that together. You can get involved by clicking the link in the description. So guys, Elijah Moore, what the hell is going on? That's the first thing I want to say. Come on! We finally get out of this dark. It took the whole season for people to even think that the Jets were for real, that we're even a legitimate football team. We go into Lambeau. We completely shut down the Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers in their house where they almost never lose. We come out of that dominant performance. Everybody's happy. Quinnen Williams, MVP or Player of the Week. He gets the Slime Award. We got Rookies of the Week. We got everybody talking about it. And then this little thing comes out prompted by Rich Cimini, who, by the way, this is what he does. Now, it's not his fault, right? We know that Cimini just throws out bait, throws out traps. That's what he does. Hey, did you notice this? Hey, don't forget about that. And some people bite. He's been doing it for 30 years. And Elijah Moore bit. Now, is that Cimini's fault? No, but it's what he does. And Elijah Moore being kind of a fool, and that's what happens when we allow emotions to dictate our decisions. It happens every time, whether you're good or bad. Like every time I've thrown a chair in anger, it never worked out the way I wanted it to. Usually mid-flight, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. You regret it almost instantly. And the same thing goes for the good mood. You ever get in a good mood? You're like, the next round's on me. Yeah. And then it's like, that'll be $16,000. You're like, yeah, that was terrible. Terrible move. That's the kind of stuff that emotions do. Looks like Elijah Moore was emotional and responded on the Cimini thing, and it all began. We know that he had a conversation with Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur, and the word is that it got so heated that the Jets sent him home. Now, maybe there's a better way to say it, but that's ultimately what it was. He got sent home because he was stomping and crying and yelling or whatever he was doing, that they wanted him out. Now, the other word on the street is that the teammates were blown away by this. Where the hell did this come from? So we have a situation where we have a second-year wide receiver who just played in his 17th total game for an organization, is requesting a trade in the middle of a win streak. The first win streak since he's been here, by the way. This is the first good times since he came. That's it. So he's now tainting, he's poisoning the well, right? So we look at this, which when you look at it through that lens, it's just pure selfishness. It is. Now, I want to add the other side real quick, just to be fair. I was complaining about Elijah Moore's usage all season. Now, he does have 29 catches. The last few weeks, we've seen even that drop to 0, basically. I was complaining about it. We were talking about it in game streams and in live streams with you guys. A lot of us felt the same way. We do agree that Elijah Moore's skills might not be utilized properly with the New York Jets. Now, why that is, we don't know. We don't know the reasoning or whatever. But the way it looks this season is that the ball's being spread around. There's a really impressive blooming of our running game. And we got Zach Wilson, who's kind of getting his feet underneath him after missing the first 3 games in the entire preseason. We had old man Flacco throwing the ball around for a little bit. So there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot there. But even with that said, I think the whole streaking Elijah Moore down the sideline thing, I don't think any of us really think that that's what we want him to do, right? We want him to carve up the center of the field like a surgeon and do what he does with the ball in his hands. He's a very impressive athlete. So that's one thing. So we could understand maybe being frustrated, okay? We'll give you that. Going on Twitter and doing that whole thing, I'll even give you that. You shouldn't do it, but I'll even give you that. You know, hey, you're emotional. Yeah, you just saw something and you responded. You deleted the tweets later. Okay, great. It is what it is. It happens. But going into the Jets later, requesting a trade and stomping your feet to the point where they have to send you home is where it all changes. Now, that alone, it's a selfish, bad, me player move. Diva, all the things that you can put on it. But here's something I want to point out. I think he might be getting some really bad but supported advice from the people in his camp that are supposed to be guiding him. Now, we know that his agent is a man named Tory Dandy. Now, Tory Dandy is a very successful agent for CAA, which is Creative Artists Agency, okay? Now, he has clients such as Chris Godwin, Eddie Goldman, Marshawn Lattimore, Shaq Lawson, Denzel Ward, Sammy Watkins, Devin White, Mike Williams, all kinds of guys. And there's not problems everywhere. But he also happens to have DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel. Now, what do we know about those guys just this last offseason? All 3 trade rumors, all 3 holdout, in some instances, disruptions, all kinds of stuff, and even trades have happened with those players. Now, let's take a look at how it ended up. So we have all these rumblings in Seattle that the Seahawks might want to trade DK Metcalf. He's disgruntled, 1 year on the contract. He doesn't know why they're not taking care of him, blah, 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 blah. And then we Jets fans, we said we wanted him, right? That's what we do, right? We bombard the Seattle Seahawks and we want him, send him here. So this is what happened to DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf signed a 3-year extension worth $72 million, $30 million guaranteed. 3 years, $72 million. Not bad. $30 million if he never plays another snap. Deebo Samuel, who was kind of, I think, the most contentious, right? He had the most contentious thing, and word on the street is we were very close to trading for him. We had a trade offer on the table that you get our first, we get Deebo Samuel and your second. The 49ers ultimately said no, and they ended up keeping him, but they extended him. Listen to this one. They gave him a 3-year, $73.5 million contract with $58.1 million guaranteed, a $24 million signing bonus with a $500,000 roster bonus. So he got basically $25 million up front, and he's got another $58.1 guaranteed in total. Not bad for being a little bit of a squeaky wheel, right? We got 2 squeaky wheels taken care of very nicely. Now you got A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, Jets fans bombarded A.J. Brown and the Titans so much that they actually put out a formal statement. They said, we're not trading him. They ended up trading him because he was unhappy. He said things on Twitter like, sometimes you think people care and they don't. Maybe things aren't what you think, and all those kinds of things. Oh, cryptic. Well, we all knew what he was talking about. So A.J. Brown ends up getting traded to the now 6-0 Eagles. Not a bad move. 4 years, $100 million, $23.3 million signing bonus, $25 million average per year, $57.2 million guaranteed. This is 4 years, 3 years, and 3 years. So all of these guys are represented by Tory Dandy and CAA. Okay? All of them stomped their feet, wide receivers, and they got paid off. Okay? Traded, paid, whatever it might be, traded and paid. Now, on top of that, it just so happens Elijah Moore's best friend happens to be one of those 3 guys. We know this, A.J. Brown.
I'm proud of you, bro. Good talk.
That's it. Yeah.
The difference between them and Elijah Moore is that they all have careers to back their stance up, right? Elijah Moore does not. He has 59 total receptions, 741 total yards. Again, he played only 17 games. That's including this year because he missed 5 games last year with injury. Now, he's talented. We love them, all the stuff. We believe in him. But dude, you're not even halfway done with your second year in the league. You don't have any leg to stand on. It's really kind of odd that he would pick now. Now, what I'm thinking is that when you look at all the background, you look at his friends, you look at the results, and you look at his agent, they might be putting the cart before the horse with this one, but I am absolutely convinced that these are the whispers, these are the motivations, these are the pushes that Elijah Moore is getting. These are the influences that Elijah Moore is receiving, whether it's from his professional influence in his agent or his buddies, A.J. Brown and the like. Either way, you look at what they did, you look at the results, and then you look at Elijah Moore. Again, I think he might be jumping the gun a smidgen, but I can see it clearly. That's what's going on. Now, whatever happens, here's what I think. I think you say, okay, sit down. You thought it was the worst thing in the world. Watch this. We're going to make you inactive. We're going to promote Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims goes out there. They use him in contested catch stuff or whatever they want to do with him. And they start to realize that the offense is going to roll forward with or without you. And we're going to let you sit there. Maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, you say, hey, you want to come back? You want to talk? And he says, yeah, okay. You say, okay, here's our requirements. Number 1, you're going to say sorry to everybody. And we're going to put you in front of the team and you're going to say sorry again. And you got to buy Mike LaFleur chocolates. And if you can't do those things, then you're inactive for the next 2.5 years, dude. What are you doing? Anyway, that's what I think is going on. There's a lot to this, man. It's not just as simple as me. That's in there, but it's deeper. Let me know what you think. Are you a fan of Tory Dandy? Did you even know he existed? What do you think's going to happen with Elijah Moore? Should they flip the old Denzel Mims situation with Elijah Moore and let him sit on it for a little bit? Let me know in the comments. As you know, I try to reply to as many as I can. I love chatting with you guys. With that all said, let's just keep going. Go into Denver, get a 5th win, and put this behind us. Let's keep the train moving. Have a great day, everybody, and go Jets.